What's up, YouTube? So today I'm gonna take you for another little garden tour. I missed last week's video, so a lot has changed, I think. Looks like it to me, at least, in the last 2 weeks. So I'm just gonna walk you around, talk a little bit about the plants, how everything's doing, and yeah, that'll be it for this video. But at least you guys will get an update. So, over in my garden by the barn, let's see, these radishes that I interplanted with the onions, they did really good as far as producing nice radishes, but being this close to the wood pile, there's a lot of, pill bugs and slugs that kind of migrate over for the first like 6 feet off of the wood pile, and I completely spaced out and didn't think about that this year. And they've pretty much taken a bite out of every single one of my radishes, and there's a lot. So a lot of them are going to waste because, I mean, one, I hate radishes, but nobody really wants to buy radishes with bug bites, even though, like, if you go to China, they pay more for bug-bitten food, but this is America, and people like perfect-looking food for whatever reason. But anyways, I don't know, maybe some of them will go to use, but it's just radishes, so if you ask me, I don't really care. My spinach looks good. It's due to harvest the bed, it looks like, and again harvested, let's see, I think I did 5.5 pounds last week off of just this bed, so that was pretty good. The leaves are like amazing. Everybody that's had it's like, wow, this is the best spinach I've had, so excited about that. This bed of carrots is really growing in like super nice. I love it. That was all hand planted. The arugula over there is doing okay. The cherry tree sucks up a ton of water, so keeping that bed watered, I think, is the issue with the arugula. It's a little stunted, but I think it'll be fine. Just have to come out every morning and water it. Same with the Mizuna. The Mizuna is a little, like, stunted a tiny bit, but not too bad. It's a bit better than arugula. This bed of spinach is looking great. The Tokyo Bacana, Asian greens doing good. The purple pak choi is doing good. I just tripped over my irrigation system. I got a bunch of Salanova planted out in this bed with the bunching onions. Kohlrabi's doing good. Spinach and bunching onion doing good. That's a bed of, I believe it's Sparks romaine. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure though. And then the shadow is kind of hard to see it, but that's all mustard greens. So, whoop. This garden is doing really good. It's gonna look good once everything really fills in, so I'm excited to see the progress in that one. Got a decent amount of cherries set on the cherry tree, so excited about that. Cosmic Crisps are doing good. The experimental grain beds are doing pretty good. This one's the wheat, that's oats, and that one's rye. The oats, I don't know what the deal is with them, but they were hulled, so I think that may have affected germination, but then at the same time, I don't really think it should have that much, but I don't know, could have just been old. The orchard, really filling in. It's leafed out a ton, I think, since the last video. The arugula, all this stuff under the tree, all of it's doing really good, starting to grow. The weather's warming up. So, I don't know, everything's doing good, so I guess I don't need to keep saying that. The cabbages are getting big. That's the outrageous red romaine. I love that stuff. Just the contrast of it amongst everything just always looks amazing. This is Yugoslavian red butterhead lettuce running the perimeter of the daikon and the what are they called? Garlic. That's some more Yugoslavian red, and then winter density Bibb lettuce right over there. Kind of comes, I don't know. I wanted to create a little visual depth with the plum tree just because it's big and tall. So when the tours start, we all walk around this way and we cut through here, and everybody takes a look at this one. I think it's a Liberty apple. Pretty sure it's a Liberty. And we kind of mosey on that way, but Paul always points out the plum tree because there's a root sucker that radiates 30 feet over yonder, comes up over here, and so this is like a demonstration piece. So I just wanted this tree to look really cool. So in order to create a little depth under it, I made this little windy path kind of guy going through here, and it just tapers off to like nothing, but it just looks cool. So I'll probably leave that open, or maybe I'll probably leave it open just to have easy access going in to harvest stuff. But so anyways, I don't know, I just love how that looks. I might do that with some more trees. But more cabbage under the pear tree over there. There's lettuce. There's all different types of romaine. Then there's a couple rows of beets on the backside, on the inner side of the romaine closest to the tree. And then I've got bulb fennel planted all under here, so that'll make really nice, like fluffy, fuzzy looking, dense bed of bulb fennel leaves with all the big nice leaves from the lettuce and beets on the outside. This tree is pretty cool. It's got a bunch of mustard towards the center, different colored mustards, different like types of leaves. You've got the, like ruffly leaves, and you've got smooth ones and different colors, and that'll look good once that all thickens up right in there. And then behind the mustard, you can kind of see the strip of it right here is dill, so that'll get about 3 to 4 feet tall, fill in this whole section, and just create a nice backdrop for the mustard, which will look good. And then there's romaine in the front again, and then broccoli on the outside of the dill, and then spinach in that far corner where the branches get low. But I don't know, I think it's gonna look pretty awesome. This whole section is all Hakurei turnips, and then bunching onion kind of just moseys on through this opening in between the branches, and some leftover kohlrabi, and then cabbages in the far end. What else do we have? I planted a bunch of squash, different types of squash, all on this side of the orchard. So all along this stretch in the orchard where the sequoia trees are, this is like the driest section of the orchard. Sequoia trees actually suck up a ton of water and just dry out this whole area pretty much. So I'm gonna do the squash and everything over here, and then stuff like leafy greens just does better where it's got a little like damper soil conditions, or consistently damp soil conditions. So they'll all go on this side of the orchard. The Asian pear that got attacked by deer the last 2 years, it looks okay. But I just now noticed we do have fruit set on it, so we might get a couple Asian pears. That's exciting. And there's potatoes under that. Let's see. I think I skipped over the 2 pears over there, but there's beets and cabbage under those. Beets and garlic under this one. This is an Akani. Hold on, let me wipe the lens. Okay. I haven't really planted over this way too much just yet. I do have some Walla Walla onions over here, but that's about it. There's potatoes over there that I planted last year, no, the year before last. We'll check out the little nook garden in the orchard. That's doing good. There's a lot of Paul's stuff that's been direct seeded. He just got out here and thinned a bunch of it, so it's all spaced about 4 to 5 inches apart. Tends to be the average distance he uses for stuff. So let's see. Not sure what that is. It almost looks like radish, but he said he planted this area with green, so it could also be some type of arugula. But looks like endives. Looks like tatsoi, cilantro, Tova. Good girl, Tova. Although you shouldn't be stepping on the plants. Alright, so Paul's garden over here is doing good too. Looks like bunching onion, or some kind of onion, and all of his kale. Still need to thin out the kale. He likes to wait until it's a little bigger, and then we can transplant some of it. But I don't think he realizes just how much kale I have planted. There's going to be more soon too. So we're going to have kale coming out of our ears. But Swiss chard, looks like broccoli. Yeah, it looks like broccoli. That's cabbage. Beets. And more beets. And lettuce. Spinach. This looks like a type of Asian green. I'm not sure what it is. Unless it's like a ruffled mustard green. I don't know. And then, I don't know if you can see it. Kind of see it right here. That is his row of curly parsley. He loves planting parsley on this edge. Makes a really nice edge. Raspberry row, doing good. I think there's going to be a lot of fruit this year on them. There's going to be heavy fruit set on the currants. These are black currants. I love this variety. They get ginormous. Let's see the garden from this angle. Cilantro starting to bolt, but it's doing really good, still flavorful. Been eating a bunch of kale flowers, or rapini. Hopefully that wind isn't too bad. Seems like every time I grab the camera the wind picks up, so I don't know, we'll see. Let's see, there's more, looks like more broccoli, I think, then bush beans, and then he planted his corn and cucumbers and stuff early this year, and they didn't come up, so he planted again yesterday. That's a row of cucumbers. What's this? Cilantro, this row right here. More cucumbers, corn, and then celery. And he always does his celery along the asparagus, which is right here. And then you got the rowdy meat birds. Watch, they follow me. They know it's time to eat. But this is their paddock. I'll move it every about 4 days at this age. Once they're a little bigger, then they'll start eating more grass and trampling it down a lot quicker. But I just moved it the other day. They were in this paddock over here. I just moved it forward. This design that I came up with for their shelter is really awesome. Super cheap. I love it. Super lightweight. So in the winter I'll have to anchor it down so the darn thing doesn't blow away. But yeah, it's been working out great. Geese are doing good too. They like having a bunch of goofy meat birds to herd and corral. Got more garlic over here. There's some kohlrabi and garlic under that pear tree. Sugar snap peas. All kinds of stuff. And I'll give you an update on the rabbits and the chicks, and then I'll get you out to the pond garden, and then I'll show you my flock real quick. Almost forgot. Update on the greenhouse. Everything is looking really good, especially these hanging baskets. I'm like really loving the way these things are filling in, and they're just doing awesome, I think. There's one little purple one still. That's the only one that's flowered. The other ones, they've got little buds on them, so they'll start flowering soon, but it'll be red, white, and blue baskets, and I think they're just gonna look amazing on the barn once they're really big and full and starting to like cascade. Creeping Jenny's like taking off, so that stuff's gonna get nice and long. I'm excited. There's all lettuce that needs to be transplanted out today. Got my work cut out for me. All my tomatoes, got them potted up into half-gallon pots. I'll probably keep those in here and at least until the end of the month, and then I'll get them planted out. I'm gonna do single stems and trellis them up, either stakes, or I'll run a cable and do like baling twine. Anyways, there's peppers, fig cuttings in there still. I got maybe 25% of them to root. I don't know why it was so poor this year, but whatever. Elderberry, that stuff roots like wiregrass does, basically. So easy. And all this parsley needs to be transplanted out. I'm doing a ton of parsley this year because the rabbits love it. It's like their favorite snack. The leeks are doing good. They'll be transplanted out. Hold on. Okay. So, wind was blowing through the greenhouse and it was making like a tunnel effect, and it was getting loud. Anyways, the leeks are doing good. They'll be transplanted out in maybe 2 weeks. I want them to get a bit bigger than that. Zinnias are doing good. Might get them transplanted out, although maybe they're not doing too good. Some of them are getting a little melty. The leaves are turning brown and getting slimy, so they need better airflow. Anyways, sunflowers, they need to be transplanted out, and then all the cucumbers need to be transplanted out. And then that's pretty much it for this greenhouse. This greenhouse is doing good too. All these starts were planted, I want to say 2 weeks ago. I want to say, but yeah, 4:30. So about 2 weeks ago. They're close to it. They all came up. Everything looks really awesome. Like terrific germination. Beets are perfect. There's about 3 to 4 beets per cell. That's like exactly how I want it. Let's see. Broccoli, cauliflower, doing good. I just love the look of radish seedlings in a tray. They're ginormous. Huge cotyledon leaves. And then I planted all these guys yesterday. There's a bunch of stuff. Don't even ask me what it is. Doesn't really matter. I'll show you it when it comes up. More lettuce and what is that? Squash and watermelon, or watermelon and squash, whatever. A mouse came in, ate all of the seeds, but the one little squash coming up in the corner right there, and I finally trapped his butt. Then he decimated this little tray of corn. That was like, I think it's called Little Gem, that rainbow variegated corn. Rabbits are doing good. Let me show you them real quick. So, I think I mentioned in the last video, I should have, they're about 2 weeks old now. Reba did have babies. They're cute little things. They're funny. She had 4. She's a good mom. Everybody's waiting to be fed. This girl, the little miracle rabbit that hemorrhaged, her babies are doing good. Still got 7 of them. Happy little black bunnies. And then I weaned her babies off of her. She was so excited when she had the cage back to herself. Especially this one. This one had 7 with her. So they're all doing good. Get them some more comfrey for breakfast. And then little boy Blue. The blue buck is doing good. Bobo's doing good as always. And there's some couple little chicks in here. They're SOP Black Copper Morans. I just have them in there just because I don't feel like dealing with the little pen just yet. I have too many going on right now. There's a bunch of chicks in here. These are all from my birds that I hatched out. So they're just mixed, straight run. I think they're 4 or 5 weeks old now, probably 5 weeks old. But they're for sale. I'm just growing them out. And here's all the rabbits. They're a little skittish since I moved to one pasture. But they're doing good. I like to give them a bowl of oats, just because oats are high in fat, and that'll help grow them out a bit. And then here's my cool little dude. Looks like Wild Rabbit. He's fun. But he's a buck, so I don't really need another buck, or else I would have kept him. But I really like him, so I'll probably just find him a home. So if I do ever want to breed him, I can always take my doe to him. Okay, this garden's doing really good. It's a bed of Mizuna, whatever that's called, Salanova. Carrots are coming up. Can't see it in the film though. Spinach looking good. 2 types of cabbages looking good. This is pak choi. It's doing okay. It's weird. There's some inconsistency in this garden this year. Like on the far end of this bed, they're stunted. They're maybe this tall, and they're already bolting. Some of these are big and looking perfect. So I just say it's inconsistency in the compost that went down, but it's always something. That's purple tatsoi. I love that stuff. The contrast of the leaves is always really awesome. Or like that pak choi, and then kale, and then of course horsetail or equisetum. Nightmare. Need to weed that out. This garden is going to get compost within the next 2 weeks. Once I have more stuff that's ready to be transplanted out, then I'll focus on this garden and get it composted, or get compost on it at least, not necessarily composted. My flock is doing good. That dude, he's definitely making some fertile eggs. I've got a dozen of them in the incubator. They should be hatching out today. So I'm excited to see what I get out of that. And then, conveniently, this little turkey hen I don't want to get too close. I don't want to disturb her. But she's broody. I've got some fake eggs under her, and so as soon as my chicks in the incubator hatch out, or the turkey chicks, I'll throw them in under her, or I'll stick them in under her in the late evening, or get up really early and do it in the morning. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. She's gonna raise up my turkey chicks this year. And then Goofy Gunther, he's doing good. Chickshaw, always working. I was gonna move this paddock under the cedar trees like a week ago, but then that turkey went broody and I didn't want to mess her up. And so as soon as the chicks hatch, I'll give her 2 or 3 days in this area, and then I'll move everybody over here. The grass is nice and tall. I just need to weed whack the edge of the fence just so the electric poultry nut doesn't ground out, but they're gonna really like being under these trees. That'll be the first time they're in the woods setting. But and the sheep over there are doing good. Speaking of sheep, I got a flock of, 14 Katahdin sheep. And Paul's brother was a butcher. He's pretty much completely retired and out of that now, as of like a month ago. Anyways, he used to raise sheep, and he wanted to just be done with it all because he wants to do some traveling. And he gave me his entire flock of sheep, so I'm excited about that. So I've been taking care of them in town, raising them on his property still. And yeah, maybe I'll take you guys over there one day and show you them. I mean, they're just sheep, so. But yeah. Oh, and then I've got some chicks in the barn. Hold on. Okay, so I forgot about these guys. There's about 10 show quality, like standard of perfection black copper Morans in there. Got them from a really awesome breeder. Now that I'm on camera, I'm drawing a blank. It's Willow Ridge Farm. She's awesome. Look her up online. But she's got really awesome birds, awesome colors, and yeah, I'm excited about those. So I've got 10 of those that hatched out, and then I've got a bunch of olive eggers, and then some lavender Americanas bred with Wheaton Morans, I think, something like that. Anyways, they're gonna look good. But yep, so these guys are gonna be my chicks. I'm gonna replace, I've got about a dozen hatchery birds in my flock over at the neighbors right now, and so once these guys start laying, I'll get rid of those hatchery birds. I don't know, they're gonna be slowing down next spring because they'll be 2 years old then. So we'll see. I might process them, or if people want them, I'll figure something out. But I'm gonna make my flock really high quality birds. I don't really want like just random birds that I've got. I needed those for egg production, but now I'm focusing on quality genetics, so that's exciting. We'll have nice birds next year. So anyways, before I talk on and on and on and on and on and on like I tend to do, I'm going to end the video. So God bless, happy gardening. Hope your gardens are doing just as good as mine are this year, and I hope they continue to do just as good. So with that said, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, blah blah blah. Hit the little bell notification so you can tell when the next videos are coming out. And yeah, as always, drop some video suggestions below. If in the moment one of the suggestions tends to work out with what I'm doing, I'll make a video on it. I try not to plan because, you know, like, well, I do a lot of planning, but I try not to plan videos just because it then, like, doesn't ever happen. So, anyways, I gotta go. So, God bless, happy gardening, peace out, whatever. Adios.